In this video, we're going to talk about how lack of planning is affecting your law firm. Let me tell you a story. I had a client running a $2 million revenue law firm, and she was only making a profit of $50,000. Think about it. How much work is involved in creating $2 million in revenue? What would you expect to have at the end of the day? What would your profit need to be? $50,000 is not it. Is that something that you can relate to? So let's talk about what went wrong here. The default mode for a law firm owner, or any business owner for that matter, is to be doing the work. We go in and we just start our day and we check our email and we just go and we want to start working on our client work, or we want to start doing our sales. And we don't take any time to think about the bigger picture, to think about what we're doing. Because if you don't take the time to map out your plan and to do the math and make sure that it's going to work on paper before you execute, what is going to end up happening is you're going to be 2, 5, 10 years into your journey, built a beautiful law firm of 2 million, 10 million, whatever that number may be, and yet you're still going to be earning very little or no money. So let's talk about what makes a law firm healthy. What is, if $50,000 is too little on $2 million of revenue, what is the right amount? What I share with my clients is that there's a range, a target profit margin that's healthy, that with that you can take a decent salary home, but you also have money to invest in the growth of your firm. And that target profit margin is somewhere between 35 and 50%, which means that for every dollar that comes in, the business is keeping 35 to 50 cents on that dollar. In our example of the $2 million law firm, that business owner should have been making somewhere up to $1 million in profit, not 50,000. That's crazy. So when we want to look at what we're planning in our law firm growth, we want to make sure that we're targeting the right profit margin first. The next thing that I want to share with you is, what is it costing you to not fix this today? And that is this idea of opportunity cost. If you have $1 million in the bank and you have it in a savings account that's not paying you interest, you might think that that money is safe. But the reality is that if you don't have it invested in something that's going to produce 8 or 10%, you're losing out on what that money is going to give you. Your law firm is no different. If you don't fix this problem today, you're losing out on what that potential profit is today, tomorrow, and the next day. So if you wait 2 or 3 years to solve this issue, in our example, this $2 million law firm, $50,000 or $1 million, what is the cost of that? In 1 year, it's $1 million or $950,000. In 2 years, it's twice as much. 3 years is 3 times as much. And then what could you have done with that money? How much more can you have grown the firm? Or what other efforts can you have made that would have changed the world in a different way that you couldn't do because you didn't fix this problem? But before I continue, let me just ask, are you subscribed to this channel? If not, hit that subscribe button so that you can know when we release new videos like this one that can add value to your law firm and help you with your profitability. The biggest thing that gets in the way of people creating a plan is not knowing where to start. And for that, I have spent countless hours with hundreds of law firm clients figuring out what is the easiest way to help you get through this. And what I did is develop a model. We call it the Law Firm Growth Formula. And this model lays out the entire growth of your business from inception to wherever you want to take it to. And the main pieces of it are plan, grow, and scale. And we're going to focus today on the planning section. So when you're approaching planning, there's basically 3 types of plans that we can create. There's a very high level, big picture plan, and that's the long-term plan, 5 years out, 10 years out, 15 years out. And that plan is not a detailed plan. It is just an idea of what it is that you're creating. And for your purposes, for the law firm that you're creating, it's important for you to know, do I want to be a solo, or do I want to build a law firm that's going to have a bunch of attorneys working for it? Am I trying to become the biggest law firm in the country, or am I just trying to create something in between? And that vision is really important, because when you go to the next level of planning is your short-term planning. That's 12 to 18 months. When you go to that level of planning, there you want to make sure that the short-term plan you're doing is in alignment with the long-term vision. So the only purpose of the long-term vision is to make sure that your short-term plan, it's building to that long-term vision. Below the short-term planning is your quarterly plan. That is the very detailed plan of what am I executing tomorrow? What is the work I'm doing today that's going to move the needle forward? And that's where we take the 12 to 18 month plan and we dissect it into smaller pieces, into projects, into action-based items that can really help us and guide us through our day-to-day activities to make sure that we're not in default mode, that we're actually putting in the work to make our law firm successful. As a matter of fact, with one of our clients, by implementing planning and keeping to that plan, we were able to get her from negative profitability to a 36% profit margin in less than a year. Her name is Becky Torres, and we interviewed her on the podcast. If you want to hear the details of her story and how she did that, you can go to profitwithlaw.com/318. Becky is one of our elite law firm expansion coaching clients. And if you want us to support you in the same way that we supported her and help you to achieve massive profitability in your law firm, go to profitwithlaw.com/elite.